Hey guys, welcome back to GBossDE. This is a channel just for me and you guys, the Germans. Shout out to Deutschland, and we're going to be checking out a video with a title that, I don't know, will I be actually, scared, terrified? I doubt it. But the title is The Dark Side of Living in Germany. So let's find out the dark sides of living in Germany. If you want to see the original video, link will be there in the description of this video for the original video. And also, if you want to leave any recommendations, I'll provide a link for you guys in the comment section. A pinned comment will be there with a link here on YouTube, and you can click that link and you can add whatever YouTube videos that you want me to react to, as long as it's obviously related to Germany, and I'll do that just for you guys. But without further ado, guys, let's get right to this video.
The dark side of living in Germany. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about the dark sides of living in Germany. There are plenty of great things about living there, but like every country, it has its drawbacks as well. We'll take a look at some of these potential issues, and you can decide if they'd make life difficult for you or your family. So stay tuned to find out more on this intriguing topic. 1. Bad internet connection. Germany's internet connection is known around the world as one of the slowest and most unreliable in Europe. And let me tell you, it can be quite frustrating when your Netflix stream keeps buffering.
Yeah, right out the gate, that would actually affect me. Here in Finland, I don't think internet is bad in Finland. However, I live in North Finland, and it's a lot more trees, rural. We don't even have 5G where I live at, right? However, we do have those fancy stuff in southern Finland. But I don't think internet is bad here in Finland, but I think where I live at, because it's so rural, like literally like forest, I guess. But the internet sucks, and I lose my mind over this thing a lot of times, because playing games, online games, it's a nightmare. Watching videos, it buffers as well. So yeah.
Or your Zoom call suddenly gets disconnected. It almost makes you yearn for those simpler times before the digital age. It is one of those negative sides of living in Germany that you only get to know if you stay there for longer. But why are we stuck with this less than optimal service? Well, unfortunately, it boils down to two things: lack of infrastructure, investment, and antiquated telecommunication regulations. Essentially, providers don't want to splurge too much on new technology since they already have an existing system in place, which means you end up getting what feels like subpar performance. On top of that, lawmakers here tend not to adhere strictly enough to competition rules, which stifles any potential improvements from rival companies entering the market. 2. Staff at Ausländerbehörde, German immigration, are so rude. If you've ever had the misfortune of dealing with German immigration, then you'll know that it's not always a pleasant experience.
If they're talking about the border, like when you enter into Germany for the first time, my transaction was smooth as butter. Like I cannot tell you this in any clearer method. Yes, I've been to Germany. For those who are probably like, wait, what? He said he's gonna visit Germany at 10K subs. Yes, I'm gonna visit Germany, but I've went through Germany. Meaning I've been at Frankfurt International Airport, if that's the name. Frankfurt, I know, is a part of the name, but international, I'm not sure. It should be international either ways. But the point is, I've went through Frankfurt International Airport, get on a plane on my way to Finland. But the point that I'm making here is, if he's talking about these people, do not take that as a credible source, because people can be having a bad day and some of them will act out, whatever. But my experience, whew, that thing was it was wonderful. However, Lufthansa, they had my luggage for an entire month. Yeah, that's what happens when you go on transfer flights. It was stuck in Germany.
Staff at the Ausländerbehörde are notoriously rude and unhelpful, making it one of the negative sides of living in Germany.
Word.
It may seem like this rudeness is intentional, but upon closer inspection, it seems to be more rooted in cultural differences. Germans tend to be much more formal than any other countries when interacting with people whom they don't know very well. This often leads to misunderstandings between immigrants and those assisting them outside the Ausländerbehörde, an awkward situation for all involved. There have been several attempts by government officials and public figures alike to improve communication between immigrants and their counterparts at the Ausländerbehörde. While some progress has been made as far as etiquette goes, there is still a great deal of room for improvement on both sides, something which many visitors find disappointing each time they visit Germany's immigration office. 3. Difficulty in making friends. As one of the most populated countries in Europe, it may surprise you to hear that many foreigners struggle with making friends here. For starters, directness isn't a joke in Germany. People are incredibly blunt, which can make social interactions feel uncomfortable for those coming from more indirect cultures. It is one of those dark sides of living in Germany that nobody wants to discuss. Making matters worse is the rather reserved behavior of your average German person. Privacy and personal space are held at very high regard over here.
Privacy.
Not
Privacy. Anyways, on the topic of hard to make friends, that is something that I think might just be entirely across Europe for majority of the countries. I think it is pretty difficult. What I've realized since, being here in Finland is that it's not necessarily difficult to socialize with these people or to be friends with them. It's just that they're a lot more reserved because you're not from their country or something of the sort like that. That's what I've reckoned because I've seen where Finns just randomly, like I'm outside and I see a Finn just pull up to another Finn and they just talking casually. I'm like, if I was supposed to do that, it probably would have been awkward. Cause they'd be like, it probably would have been awkward. So I don't really know if it has anything to do with the culture itself, because obviously I'm not German, but I definitely do believe that the fact that you're not from the country, it can actually affect you making friends a lot.
only will you find yourself keeping conversations surface level, but chances are shocking news or gossip won't do too well either. 4. No air conditioners.
Yeah.
The summer in Germany, the time of year when all the locals are basking in sunshine and enjoying the best of what nature has to offer. Except for one thing. Can you guess what it is? That's right.
Hey, no, you see, he just showed the what's that again? A bus station in Pennsylvania. Was it Pennsylvania? I think so. I don't remember. But however, I've seen in Pennsylvania a bus station with air conditioning. Like literally. So I'm not even trying to hold you, man. Like not having air conditioning is a thing that I think probably is in the entire Europe. Like I've said before, Finland, it's the same thing. No air conditioning. And it was a shock for me because it's like, wait, no? Yeah, no, they don't have that.
Air conditioners. Yes, my friends, living without air conditioning in Germany can be a real challenge, especially during those hot summer days. You may find yourself wiping sweat off your forehead every few minutes, just trying to stay cool. A little bit of wind will help a bit, but unfortunately there isn't much around these parts, which can make things quite uncomfortable. It is one of the most annoying negative sides of living in Germany. And
can't
while,
you get
yes,
one, though?
some people do have access to an AC unit, they aren't as readily available or common as they would be if you were living somewhere else like America or Southeast Asia, where hotter temperatures prevail throughout the entire year. So don't expect any joy from that direction unless you want to burn up a big fat hole in your wallet. 5. Dog poos everywhere, especially big cities. One of the not so great things
In States, you gotta walk around with your bag and you gotta pick them up. That's facts. In States, you gotta do that. People will get at you for that for sure. I would get at people for that because it's kind of messed up stepping in the poo and all that.
about living in Germany, dog poo everywhere. We're talking sidewalks, parks and streets completely blanketed in canine feces. It's like a minefield you have to carefully make your way around. It is a dark side of living in Germany that nobody expects from a first world country. The thing is, Germans just love their dogs. So much so that it's become commonplace to bring your pooch with you wherever you go, even to the grocery store. So when these dogs do their business, well, let's just say the streets are not necessarily spared. 6. High taxes. The significant amount of tax that is withheld from a worker's paycheck in Germany is the most significant disadvantage of residing in Germany. The amount of an expat's income that is subject to income tax might range anywhere from 20 to 40%, depending on their wage. It is one of the true dark sides of living in Germany. But don't
20% ain't bad, you know what I mean? 20% ain't bad. It's just when you hit 40.
despair, my friends. Germany actually has a lot of benefits. For one, the taxes are used to fund some of the most amazing public services in the world.
Right.
These include free healthcare and education, as well as infrastructure and transportation systems that make life more convenient for everyone. 7. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. It's the bane of everyone's existence, or at least it seems like that when you're living in Germany. For those unfamiliar with this term, bureaucracy is defined as a complex system of rules and regulations used to manage an organization. In other words, it's a lot of paperwork and hassle when trying to get anything done. It is one of the dark sides of living in Germany. In Germany, bureaucracy is especially rampant. From the lengthy and confusing visa applications to the never-ending paperwork for taxes, it can feel like you're stuck in an endless loop of red tape. Even seemingly simple tasks, like opening a bank account or registering your car, can often turn into an arduous process requiring multiple...
I think the same situation with Finland. Listen, for Finland, I didn't do a visa. I'm a resident of Finland. However, I would say to being a resident of Finland was pretty easy. Well, because I qualify, obviously. But in terms of the paperwork, I think it was pretty easy. Yeah, it was pretty easy. I think probably the hardest part of residency with Finland is, I don't know, maybe the fact that you have to travel and it probably costs a little bit of penny. I think, you know what's funny? My first residency for Finland was more expensive than the second residency. My first residency did not last or doesn't last as long as the second residency lasts, but it was cheaper. I'm not even sure how much the second residency cost, but I can tell you the first one, like it ran me up a couple, because I think I had to pay $400 just for the application. And when I was in New York, I had to pay like $100 something for, submitting the application. And I don't remember what else I had to pay, but it was a pretty penny.
Visits to various offices and repeated bouts of filling out forms. It's enough to make anyone want to tear their hair out. And speaking from experience, when trying to get through all that bureaucracy in another language with unfamiliar terminology and concepts, it can be downright frustrating.
Right.
8. Too many rules. When it comes to regulations and bureaucracy, the country isn't necessarily known for its laid-back attitude. From strict parking laws to complex residence permits, living in Germany can be a bit of a challenge at times. For instance, have you ever tried getting your driver's license or Führerschein? In most countries, this usually involves passing some tests and voila, you're good to go. Not so in Germany. Here, not only do you need a certain number of driving lessons, but also must attend first aid classes, as well as pass an extensive theoretical exam that covers everything from vehicle construction.
Hey, that's pretty much what you got to do in Finland as well. I haven't gotten my license here in Finland, unfortunately, because I've just been hesitant. Not because I'm incapable or incompetent. I just not, went for it. I've paid for it since last year. I just haven't went for it because, some situations you got to be like, okay, if I have a driver's license, I'm going to need a whipty-dipty, I'm going to need a car, I'm going to need something, right? So, yeah, still haven't done it, but I can tell you it's pretty darn similar.
Knowledge to traffic signs to road safety rules. And then there's the practical exam, which includes huge amounts of paperwork. You get the idea by now.
Wow.
9. Germans smoke a lot. There are certain places, such as restaurants, where you can enjoy your meal without having to contend with cigarette smoke. On the other hand, if you venture into some bars or cafes, then you'll be met with a haze of smoke from all directions, which can really put off non-smokers. We admit that this doesn't make for an ideal environment for those who don't partake in tobacco products themselves, but it does mean...
I mean, for the smoking situation, I can't really flag you for that. Like, in America, a lot of people do smoke. However, you just have to avoid the areas that people smoke. The smoking is unlike the bureaucracy, the internet. Those you cannot dodge them, right? But the smoking, you can dodge them. It's not a big deal.
There's plenty of opportunity for people watching throughout any given night. It is one of the real dark sides of living in Germany. Another thing about smoking in Germany is how it seems unavoidable during festivals and parties. Smokers will often light up without even thinking twice about it, so if you're not keen on being around clouds of second-hand smoke, then perhaps steer clear of these types of occasions.
That's right.
Some places have designated smoking areas, but unfortunately many do not have such measures, always making cigarettes very easily accessible. 10. Racism. Racism is the cruelest dark side of living in Germany.
Listen, I don't know why people, why is this even on the list, right? This is everywhere, first of all, right? I don't know about how high rank racism is in Germany. I can't tell you that. I just cannot tell you. But from my experience, from basic stuff that I've seen online, where I live right now is way higher ranked compared to Germany. And it's been pretty chill for me. I can't say that everything has been perfect, but it's been pretty chill. So nothing major, nothing too much. So it would be interesting to actually visit Germany and see this, like flat out just being displayed or whatever. But the whole point that I'm trying to get at is this is everywhere, everywhere.
We must accept this awful truth. Don't get me wrong, most Germans are open-minded and accept variety. Some segments of society still harbour prejudice. From subtle microaggressions to overt prejudice, it can be devastating for the victim. Since Germany has been tormented by its past for decades, racial disparity here is considerably more deadly. This implies that race purity is firmly rooted in some parts of society and continues to rear its ugly head when least expected or intended. In conclusion, there are many dark sides of living in Germany. While the country offers a high quality of life, excellent job opportunities and cultural diversity, some downsides to consider include higher taxes than other countries, language barriers for non-German speakers, winter weather that many find too cold or grey. As with all decisions about where to live, an individual must weigh these pros and cons.
I think this was a valid video. Yeah, some of them were just whoo, the way how he just pressing them hard. But this was a valid video. You guys can let me know what y'all think about it. I think what was it, 10? Was it 10 of 10 of them? I think. I think it was a solid 10. Y'all can let me know what y'all think about it. But yeah, those are the dark side of living in Germany. Definitely dark for sure. And yeah. Bro's trying to stop us from going to Germany. I'm just playing. He not. But yeah, I hope they have a positive or 10 best reasons why you should move to whatever. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and let me know what you guys think about these situations in the comment section down below. I'm out of here. Until next time, peace. Peace. I just said peace. Peace.